this is who the fuck I am now.
This is America.
Hi, how are you? Oh my God, it's so good to see you. Oh.
Stop, please stop, please stop, please stop. Please stop, please.
What are we doing? All right, let's get to the point. Alrighty, let's get to business. Alrighty, so this is what happened to me today. This is what I don't like. This is what I found out about myself. This is what I realized about myself today. This is who the fuck I am now. So this sparked after Dan Severn said that we're always in competition with ourselves, with other people and ourselves. And it's so funny that he mentioned that, because I'm always showing how, you know, we have to work every day to be better than we were yesterday. You know, you at least want to get better at least 1% per day. Even though I'm not competing against anybody, right? This honestly feels like I'm always in competition with myself. I look back at the videos and I look back at my life, and then I see how everything that I've done is so different from what I do now. And that's because I'm willing to change that, right? I was willing to change a lot of things about myself because whatever I was doing before, it wasn't making me happy. I've said this plenty of times. So this conversation that Dan Severn and Taz had, he was pretty much explaining how he's competed all his life. We forget that just because we're not in an actual competition, like an actual fight or an actual tournament, every day that we go by, we're competing against ourselves. And we're also competing against other people, like in our jobs. You know, we're always in competition with other people. We're trying to get better. We're trying to be better than the person. And then we're also trying to be better than we were yesterday. I had to look back. I like looking back at my life because I also like to see my progress. When I used to see the fighters recording themselves or people on social media recording the workouts, I used to be like, why are you recording? Like, this is all vanity. But there's a difference. Some people record themselves just to show off, but then there's others that record themselves so they can see their progress, so they can see their mistakes, so they can fix their posture, and so that they can fix themselves. And that's where I am now. I record myself not because I want to show off. No, I'm recording myself because I want to see what I did wrong, why I got hit, why I lost balance, or why is it that some combo didn't work out. And that's why I look back at my rounds. And that was when I started recording my rounds with Taz, I started seeing a lot of things that I could improve on. And back in the day, I didn't want to see my rounds. I didn't want to look at myself on camera because I used to feel ugly. Like, I used to be so embarrassed. Like, in pictures, like, even though my family used to say, oh, you look good in pictures, I never liked to see them because I didn't like myself. And with videos, I didn't want to see the past videos of me sparring because I was ashamed and I was embarrassed, and I'm like, fuck, I suck. Now I record my videos and then I talk to Taz about it. I've shown how after my fight that I lost the fight, sitting down with Taz was a hard pill to swallow, and I had to do that or else I was going to continue to do the same mistakes. I was so ignorant. I didn't want anybody to call me out on my stuff. And the first person that started calling me out, as I mentioned in the past video, it was my instructor. And I didn't like him because of that. And then I got older and I started MMA, and Taz was another person that called me out. And I didn't like him because of that. But that was because they were telling me the truth, and I didn't want to hear the truth. But now, I want to hear the fucking truth all the time. Why? Because it set me free. I used to get hit a lot. I mean, I still get hit, but not like before. I didn't move my feet. I didn't move my hips. I didn't move my head like I was pretty much taught. And that used to frustrate the shit out of me. Now I do get frustrated sometimes, you know, like it comes and goes. And my frustration now comes from just little things that I know I can improve, and they get better as I talk about them more. When I used to grapple, I didn't know what to do in a certain position. I didn't know how to finish my round, like my submissions. And a lot of it is not that I honestly didn't know, but because I was so blinded by all the emotions that I had and all of the things that were going on in my brain that I didn't really understand when Taz used to tell me and teach me the right way to finish a submission. Because we went over it in class, right? And that was another thing that was so frustrating to me, because he used to teach us this in class, in technique class, and then when it came to sparring, I was skipping steps and I was not doing exactly what I was taught. And that was because I was forgetful, and also because I didn't really pay attention. I didn't really take the time to understand these things and really, really practice them mindfully. And I'm not an expert at it, you know? And this is why I record myself, because I want to see what I'm doing, even though Taz calls me out. Sometimes when other people tell you things, you don't even want to hear it. So then you're like, they're just telling you these things. But once you see it for yourself, and that's where like recording my rounds come into play. Once I see it for myself, I'm able to, understand that, yeah, I'm fucking up, but let me fix it. Whenever I used to sit down to talk about what's been going on, I used to make every fucking excuse not to do it because it was hard. These conversations are hard. Whenever it came down to the grades, I always had this feeling in my gut, like, or my chest, like I didn't want to talk about my grades because I knew I was gonna fail. But in reality, I didn't really fail. Before, I used to take everything so fucking personal, and I used to get offended. Now it's like when I know that somebody has an issue, I already know that it's not about myself. It's already on the person that they're having an issue. So now if it's an issue against myself, then that's something else. But the way that I used to see things were, I used to apologize for every little thing. I used to feel bad about everything. I used to take everything so personal. Now it's like, okay, if I know I fucked up, okay, I'm gonna face it. And if I need to apologize, I will. But if it's something that I did, then I am gonna take responsibility. But if it's something that I didn't do, then I'm not gonna do that. And simple. Back in the day, I was so scared to even say the truth about anything because I used to feel like I would get in trouble. Now, I mean, even if I get in trouble, I'd rather be honest than fucking sugarcoat it and then not say exactly what it is. Before, I used to not want to be myself because I was scared, because I wanted to fit in. And one time Taz told me, he's like, instead of trying to fit in with them, why don't you just focus on yourself? And instead of trying to fit into their world, why don't you focus on yourself and have them come to you? You know, have them fit in your world. So instead of trying too hard to meet other people's expectations, why don't you just focus on loving yourself? And that's why I focus so much on learning the sport and on learning about myself, because I never wanted to do that before. I was so scared of figuring out who the fuck I was. But now it makes me so sure about my beliefs and the things that I want, even though the process hasn't been easy. And it's not the happiest process. Yeah, we're always in competition with ourselves. Even if you don't think that you are, you know that if you want to become better, you're going to do things better than you did them yesterday. But if you're just trying to stay stagnant, then that's on you. So thank you, Dan Severn, for teaching us these lessons. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for reaffirming that, yeah, I can always do better, and I have the ability to do so. Make sure you guys check out the podcast, Taz Knows, with Dan Severn, and make sure you follow and subscribe to the YouTube and the podcast. And I promise you, it'll be worth it.
So I appreciate it so much. So fucking much. Like, I'm fucking your butt.
My way of having fun was to go to parties, but now on Saturday nights I'm literally editing for 4 or 5 hours and I'm having so much fun. So that's how I know I've been changing, son. And I'm okay with that. I'm fucking okay with that. I'm okay with chilling at my house, minding my own business, sipping on my own wine or just water, and just chilling the fuck out with myself.